Hey folks, Matt here, and today we're going to Worcester, Massachusetts to attend the third and perhaps final installment of the Stormbringer Metal Festival. 16 bands over 2 days, and you'll be getting at least one full track, sometimes two, from each and every one of these bands. Plus, stick around as my pal Eric and I go through the details behind the event and the bands that played, as well as what we both got for merch. So, yes, let's get to it.
Well, we gotta get this show on the road because I heard there's a curfew. Can't keep playing half past midnight. Thank you.
All right, the song's called Crusader.
huh? We know what you came for, and we have it. All right. Maybe.
Hamburgers sound good right now.
All right, guys. Thank you for being here. It's really exciting to be here again at the fucking Round Theater. I'm not gonna talk anymore. Find me out there. Just gonna get some beers.
Tony!
Enjoy the power of steel.
Serpent Rider from Seattle, Washington. We're so excited to be here ending our tour with Fer de Lance. What a great way to end the tour. And to show you guys our new album, Igor of Chimera. This next one is from that album. It's called Radiant.
Festival. Glad to see you all. Hope you all get home safe too.
Title track from the Drive the Doom record. from Boldly Scar the Doomed. A song that means more to me actually now as we're getting older, since that's what this is about. This song's called Wolves of Dusk.
And we're back. Actually, I'm back, and now Eric's here. Say hello, Eric.
Hey, what's up, folks?
So you just watched day 1 of the Stormbringer Metal Festival. We're going to get to day 2 momentarily.
Yeah.
I think we saw 7 bands, and there are 9 more to go
Yeah.
for a total of 16. That should be pretty awesome. I'm just inserting this in here just to tell you that. And then later, after you see these 9 other bands, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about basically post-show stuff, things we witnessed, things we thought were cool, and all of that. So definitely see all the bands that are coming up, and then come back and we'll talk later.
Yeah! Thank you, Ralphs! We fucking love being back here. Ralphs has always meant a lot to Maidenhead. We're in and out of here all the time. Some of our first shows were here. We will be getting drunk here again. That'll definitely fucking happen. But tonight, we're gonna play even more fast riffs. Are y'all ready? You want some fast riffs? Come on!
Better fucking head, okay?
All right, let's keep it moving. This is False Masked Hero.
that by this axe we rule.
Alright, so this festival's named after a sword, so we're gonna play a bunch of our material that's the high fantasy stuff. We're gonna play all the sword songs, because we thought that'd be appropriate. So, we've never played this one live before. This one's for the Fire Emblem fans. This is called Shadow of the Dragon.
Back in 2020, we put out an album, self-titled Stygian Crown, and this is the closing track off of it. It's called 2 Coins for the Ferryman.
fucking Massachusetts. How many years has it been? 11. Got it. All right. Okay, game over. Actually, it has. It's been 11. It doesn't seem like it, but fuck yeah, we were here at a little place called the Palladium last time. Very nice. Yeah. He works there. Anyways, man, I can talk a lot. I'm gonna keep it short because we're here to fucking play. And but before I do have one thing I want to say right now. Evan G, everybody involved with Swordmaster, all our friends, thank you all very much. I meant Stormbringer, I said Swordmaster. I'm old, you gotta give me a break. You knew what I meant. But, and we got a lot of friends here. If I had to thank everybody who's cool at this place tonight, you'd all just have to come up in order and state your name. So I'm gonna say thank you all for being here. This is from Life's Blood. This is called Lady Twilight.
You guys are beautiful out there, let me tell you. We want to thank you all for coming out. We have a couple more here for you. A couple of new ones. Are you ready for them? I don't know, Alex. You think they're ready?
I don't think they're ready for him.
Are we going home?
That wasn't nearly a fucking enough. All right, are you ready for some new stuff? Come on, Stormbringer.
You don't like Lord of the Rings?
Come on, nerds, sound off. Let's fucking hear it.
If you like Lord of the Rings, let's hear some noise. Loud. Get it right, get ruined.
Hey, just a friendly reminder, our stage is your stage, so you guys are doing a great job so far, but join the fucking party. This song is shockingly another fast one of our latest record called Healing Touch. Mikey.
Whoa, how you feeling, Stormbringer? All right, you're looking good. Tell you what. Oh, we're a Twisted Tower Dire. It's great to be here. You know, because I think I've never been to Massachusetts before. I don't know if you guys have been here, but hey, it's good to be here. So,
It's fucking awesome here!
yes, it is. It's been a great day. Woo. Oh, okay. All right, we're gonna play you The Isle of Hydra.
And that was the Stormbringer Metal Festival.
Yeah, part
three.
Yeah, part 3.
Yeah, definitely.
At least as far as I know, it's going to be the last one too, which is kind
Yeah,
of sad.
I think his language is a little tentative. I think he said it's likely to be the last one.
Yeah,
so you never know.
Yeah, never know.
Something could happen.
Yeah.
Other people could come in, help him out, take over. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But very cool. We saw 16 bands.
Yeah.
I don't mind saying that my age started to show a little bit in my legs and my knees.
Oh yeah, by the time Argus played the first night and then Twisted Tower Dire the second night, the small of my back was definitely hurting.
Yeah.
I made sure to sit more on the second night.
Yeah.
Less than the first night.
Usually we went back to the car. We used to do that, but then
they had places to sit too at the place.
Yeah, and it was just easier because I had a very specific place from which I was shooting. You might have noticed that from the angle of all the bands, same place every time. And it was nice because I was to the side of the main amp, so I didn't get the amp right here. It was kind of behind me and facing out the other way, so that worked out well. My hearing wasn't as bad after the show.
And out of all the 3 Stormbringer festivals, this is the first one that was held outside.
Yeah, both nights. So you probably noticed that.
All the other 2 were held inside.
Yeah, and a lot better because Ralph's is a hot box.
Yeah,
when the bands start playing, especially festivals.
The first year wasn't too bad, but the second year that was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great lineup.
Yep, I missed the second one.
Yeah, he wasn't there for it, but I was. I
saw
only got to see the second night. I didn't get to see the first night, like when Destructor played.
Yep,
but
amazing.
But I got to see the second night with Visigoth and Savage Master, and that was good stuff.
Cool. So what were some of the bands that you were particularly psyched to see in the 2-day festival?
Well, from this one, I was looking forward to see Lady Beast.
Yeah, definitely. Top of my list.
Really good. And Twisted Tower Dire, because I actually have some CDs from them.
Right.
And Wraith. Yeah, I enjoyed Wraith.
Wraith is also big on my list for sure.
And I mean, there was a couple of bands on the bill that I had already seen previously. Adamantis, because Adamantis played the first.
Great performance. You saw
the first Stormbringer, and I had seen Widow previously. They played with Destruction.
I was definitely going for Widow as well. Yeah, absolutely. And it was a Blind Oath.
Yeah,
great band. We're going to talk about them a little bit
from Oklahoma
later because we have some merch to show coming up. But yeah, weather was decent. There was a threat of rain on Saturday. It never happened, or happened early.
Yeah, when we were waiting in the parking lot, it was like spitting.
There was a drizzle for like 5 minutes, and it went away.
But then it cleared up.
Yeah. So great.
So I usually with Rouse, I try to get there a little bit early so I get a good spot to park because it's not the biggest place.
It is. They used to have much better parking in the
there
back.
used to be another lot that they had patrolled.
I don't know if it was theirs.
And then they painted it and gated it. And so it's easy to get towed if you park over that way.
So it's good to show about an hour early at least.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Just sit in the car, listen to tunes.
Yeah.
Or you can just go in the bar and have a beer and just hang out.
Yeah, because tons of people were there early anyway. So, yep. So the show went off relatively without a hitch. There were some technical difficulties that happened.
Yeah, that happens at most live shows.
Yeah,
so.
Bad chords. There was a feedback issue. It was a clip I couldn't use, unfortunately.
It looked like they had one of the amps too.
Yeah, where there was this weird vocal feedback loop that was happening. It was wrecking like a good 60 seconds of a song, and the sound guy was away, and the lead singer's looking over, like, right? It happens. It's what happens, these things, especially when we talked about the changeover. From one band to another, you got to go quick because you're on a set schedule, 9 bands in a day, 7 bands in a day. You got to just roll with the punches.
One thing that was cool about the Stormbringer Festival, I felt every year, is that there was a good vibe.
Yep.
Everybody got along, there was good camaraderie and stuff.
Yep. A lot of female-fronted bands, like quite a few. I didn't count how many, but there were half a dozen, maybe.
There was a few.
There were quite a few. Yeah, I can think of 4 at least.
Yep.
Yeah. So pretty cool. So yeah, any other observations about the 2 days? I mean, it was a lot to take in.
That, and it goes by too quickly, like most shows. Before you know it's closing time. It's time to go home.
Yeah, definitely.
Ringing ears and sore necks.
Yeah, the neck.
He's got the sore neck.
Sore neck from the obvious activity of one of these shows. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But, I mean, we can complain about aches and pains all we want, but we do have some merch to show. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay.
You've got quite a bit there, actually.
Yeah, well, I'll just show. I only got one vinyl at the Stormbringer. Blood Feast. Actually, they're a band that played at Ralph's a number of times. It was the 4th time that they played it, so it was cool to see them back.
We saw them last year.
But I picked up, it's actually their demo when they were called Bloodlust.
Yep.
I got it, the
I wish I had
The
spotted
vinyl.
that. I didn't even see it. At all.
And it's on white, almost like I think they call it bone marrow vinyl, which is great.
Nice.
But it's only 4 songs.
Okay.
And I think it's repeated on both sides, so it doesn't matter what side you put it on, it's repeated.
Cool.
But Bloodlust,
Nice.
the Suicidal Mission demo.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Just, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, you're doing your whole stuff.
Okay. This isn't really one of the bands that were playing there, but my buddy Josh Staples, who does he does hats, and he runs a label for cassettes and stuff like that called Time One.
Yep.
Cassettes. I picked up 3 tapes from him. I picked up Outer Tomb,
Outre
Tomb. They're a death metal band from Quebec.
Maybe Montreal. I can't remember.
I believe I forget this Demon Bitch.
Yep.
I believe they're
Right.
I believe they're from the Michigan area. There's a traditional metal.
But I'm looking to get that particular album.
And then this was the one that was the big find for me from him was his old band Sakamancy. It's their Valley of Algae.
Yep.
Fucking EP.
Very cool.
It's their only recording.
Yep.
You know, they used to play at Rouse back in the Metal Thursday days, so it's cool to get that demo finally. Besides that, I also picked up some CDs. I didn't really buy much vinyl this time. I went to CDs, and then
quite a few bands had vinyl. I noticed.
Yes.
Yep.
And I picked up Wraith CDs. I picked up Heed the Warning.
Back up. There you go.
Heed the Warning.
The
And
CD back up.
Heed the Warning, it's called, and then just called Wraith. Their first 2 releases.
Yep.
And then another band that played was called Owlbear. That's
great name, by the way.
Owlbear is
it an owl? Is it a bear? I don't know.
It's a mix of both.
Yep.
And each of the CDs features an owlbear on the cover.
Yep.
It's a creature from the Dungeons and Dragons pantheon.
Yep.
That you can encounter in one of your adventures.
Sure.
And then I picked up 4 CDs from Lady Beast. This one.
Yep.
This one is like a 2 CD set that's got like all their early material, like their first 2 albums and an EP, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
And I got this is their most recent one.
Alchemist. Yep.
And then the EP, the Omens EP.
Talked about that on my channel.
And then the Vulture's Amulet.
Yep.
So I've got 4 CDs from them.
Nice.
And then the first band to play at the festival is a band called Demon Chrome from the Providence, Rhode Island area. One of the few local bands that played. And I picked up their, this is their first full length. It's called First Contact. And then I got the most recent release is the EP called Hung, Drawn, and Quartered. It's got the vocalist and the guitarist is getting chained and hung. It's a pretty cool cover.
Nice. And
then another EP. It's their first release. It's called Burned by Love. The artwork makes me think of Judas Priest a bit.
A little bit.
You know, absolutely. Yeah. Makes me think of Dependence of the Faith and Screaming for Vengeance art.
Yep. And
then the last band I bought from was the headliner from first night. It was Argus. You know, I really liked them a lot, so I picked up all the CDs. It's the self-titled Argus.
Yep.
Their second album, Boldly Stride the Doomed. Beyond the Martyrs, and the most recent one, From Fields of Fire. And I have to check the credits, but it looks like the same artist might do all their covers. Which
you did note CDs were kind of cheap at the show.
Yeah, that's one of the you know I was able to buy a lot more going that route.
Cool.
And then the only other thing is that we both got the Stormbringer shirts.
Right there we go.
It's got the logo and on the back, it's got the list of the bands.
Now, what's funny are a couple band changeouts, right?
Yes,
because
one of the bands, this band here, Displacer.
Displacer got displaced.
Yeah, they did.
I'm sure I'm not the first to make that joke.
For some reason, they weren't able to play.
Right.
So it was someone else that was either Adamantis or what was that?
Yeah, and then Possessed Steel was not at the show either. They got replaced as well.
I think I know Adamantis was one of the replacement
I think
bands,
they replaced Possessed Steel.
And that Iron Brigade, I think, was the
Iron Brigade, that's right.
Was the other one that was a replacement band.
Also. All right, so as for stuff
now his merch.
Yep. So, I did get the CD. It's a compilation CD. Whose table is this off of? Maybe Skullovich's table?
Yeah.
I had a hard time. I think that's right. bands here. Very hard to read this blurry red on white. I don't have my glasses on. I could probably explain the whole right eye infection I got Friday at the show when I was searing pain all the show.
Contact lenses.
It was not great. It was a combination, something was under it and all sorts of stuff, but I'm not going to get into that. This was cool. I love comps, so I had to grab it. It was free, by the way, at the show. Also have, let's see, I did get a Lady B shirt.
Yep.
There's the front. It's a one-sided shirt there. Very nice. Gotta say, Deborah Levine was amazing. I was so glad to meet her. She was so sweet. We both used the word gracious or gratitude or one of those words to describe Lady Beast in general, but also a lot of other bands. You know, we talked to bands at the merch tables and stuff. Even on stage, they were all saying it too, about how they were just really honored to be at this thing and they love the fans and all that stuff. It's a heavy metal thing, right? I mean, metal's like that. It's one of the great things, you know. I don't think rap artists go that deep with their fans, to be honest.
No.
So, very cool. Lady B shirt. I did get some vinyl as well.
Yeah.
I did pick up the Blind Oath album. I was really impressed with these guys. I really was psyched to see them.
From Tulsa.
They came out of left field for me because I was ready for the other bands I bought vinyl for.
Always glad to see someone from a different state.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Like a band from Nebraska or something.
Very cool. I think this is self-titled.
Yes,
it is.
I like the artwork. It's pretty
cool. Very cool. Yep. And they also gave me a sticker. There we go, with the logo.
A little Blind Skulls Devastation-ish.
Yep. I knew I was going to buy a couple of these. I definitely got the new album from Wraith. I was very excited about that.
Fueled by Fear.
Yes, and it is white purple swirl vinyl. Probably like the cover, which is nice when bands do that.
Yeah, the color
on the back.
Color coordinated.
Yep. Very psyched. I was hoping they had the album right before this too. I would have bought that as well because I'm looking for that. But I was very much hoping to get this, and I did. I'm excited about that. And I did pick up some Lady Beast. I got 2 of their albums. I picked up the latest album, The Inner Alchemist. These are on black wax. Both of them are. I'm just going to take them out so you can see the cover a little bit better. There you go. Very nice. Shot the band on the back. And all that. And there's a bunch of stuff we will show when I review this, because I'm going to review this on Vinyl Haul for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the Wraith album as well is going to get reviewed. This will be July's Vinyl Haul, because I've already shot June's. And also...
Lady Beast 2.
Lady Beast 2. There was a reissue of these first couple of records. So I think this is one of those reissues. Track listing on the back for you. There we go. Trying to get the glare out. It's got lights on both sides. It's fun. Yep. Very excited to pick this up as well. And let's see if I got anything else. Get in there. There we go. I think I got anything else. I think that's about it for me. Yep. Yeah. That's what I got. So anyways, Eric, thank you as always for coming on this video, putting me up for the extended weekend, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I love coming up here.
Yeah,
and all that.
Love having you come down, go to the show and shit, and hang out.
Absolutely.
You know, besides the show, we went record shopping today too.
And if you're a patron, you will see that video. And if not, well, you should become a patron, right? Definitely go to my Patreon page at patreon.com. Find all the details, see how you can contribute. Usually people at the $5 level tend to get all the videos 7 days early, a bunch of other really cool content. I do a monthly radio show just for patrons and other stuff still. So definitely check into that. And that's about it. All right.
Ever forward.
Yes. So just to cover some things Eric and I missed regarding the Stormbringer 3 t-shirts. They sold out incredibly fast. I mean, I got to the merch table after the very first band and the mediums were just gone. And by the end of the night, all sizes of the shirts were sold out. So if you got one, you definitely lucked out. Also, I briefly mentioned a bit of an eye injury during the first day of the festival. Realistically, I think I put my right contact lens in backwards and the pain really started to kick in, along with allergy eyes, right as I started shooting video. Couldn't leave my really good shooting spot to hit the bathroom and just pop it out, so I just put up with the pain. Don't want an award for that or anything, but I wanted to watch and record every band during the event, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Also, I did see some friends, both old and new, at the festival. Hello to both the Mats, as well as Ren, Carmine, Josh, and more than one of my channel viewers. Always glad to have a chance to connect with some awesome metal people. Also, big thanks to everyone who organized this event, as well as all of the bands, the vendors at the merch tables, and the staff at Ralph's. All involved were responsible for a killer 2 days of metal, and I couldn't be more appreciative of that. So again, thank you. And in case you were wondering if there was extra footage from the festival, I did put together a bonus reel of additional song clips from 15 of the 16 bands, which is available to my patrons over at Patreon. If you're not a patron, I would again invite you to go to patreon.com/The Accusation Network, check out the reward tiers, and see how you can contribute. Also, make sure to look into these bands further. I mean, many of them have demos, albums, and merch out there, which you can find by following the links in the description of this video. As for the albums I showed here, I'll do full reviews of them, at least most of them, in future episodes of Vinyl Haul, so definitely check back in for that. So definitely let me know what you thought about this festival and the bands involved. Especially let me know if you were there and what your favorite moments were. Or perhaps you have some other cool metal festivals where you live. You should let me know about that and anything else relevant in the comments below. Speaking of which, if you're new to the channel, or perhaps you saw me at the show and wondered just who the hell I am, my name is Matt. This is the Accusation Network, where each and every week I do videos on classic and modern metal, as well as metal vinyl collecting. If you like the sound of that and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, it'd be freaking awesome if you did that, of course. Also, maybe give this video a like and share out this one and other videos I make with friends on social media. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.